attack me in the comment section. Just hear me out, right? It's actually not about Rivian or whatever the company's name is actually called. So first off, congratulations for everyone that is up on Rivian stock, right? It's been doing an absolute amazing job. I have nothing negative to say about the actual stock itself. I just want you to know more about the statistic behind an IPO, right? Rivian stock recently IPO'd. Obviously, it just had a 22% day. Yesterday was the day that it IPO'd. It pushed up, pulled back, pushed up. And when asking the question, can it continue to uptrend? Of course. Let me share this statistic with you. And this is the only reason I'm making this video. This is for people that are just getting started. For if you've traded enough, I'm sure that you're aware that when there's an IPO, especially a lot of hype behind an IPO, it can cause the stock to, overreact, meaning that it can become overvalued. And more often than not, look up this statistic. It's literally based off of every IPO since I believe like 1980. And on average, every IPO increases on average 16% the day of the IPO. I think it's the day or the first week of the IPO. But on average, within the first 6 months, it increases only 6%. So how is it that a stock can gain on average within the first week 16%, but on average within the 6th month, it is only up from its IPO price 6%? And it's because it tends to correct itself. And not only did I want you to understand that statistic, but talk about recent IPOs and hyped up IPOs as well. So let's go ahead and take a step back. Again, not about Rivian stock, right? If you want to hold it, all power to you. I'm not here to convince you to sell it. All I want you to be aware is what tends to happen when a stock IPOs. And more often than not, right? So there's an IPO price, it has a 429, and then it's sold off for a good number of time, right? Hit lows of $200, it begins to actually establish a support level, and then from there moving forward, it's been making a steady recovery. So, but even if you look at it from where it's at right now at $336, it's still not at where it was when it originally IPO'd at $429. Do the math, right? $429 down to $336. Even from where we're at now, from the original day of what is this? January, March, April, all the way to now November. And we're still not making a full recovery based off of its IPO price, right? And that's kind of the position that you're in if you're asking the question, should you get into Rivian stock, right? Because you're not getting in on the IPO price, you're getting in at a little bit of a higher price. So let's go ahead and use another example. This is Lucid Motors, and Lucid Motors has been killing it the past couple of weeks, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys have been paying attention. Lucid Motors did things a little bit different. They did an IPO. They did a merger, right? And I think it was CCIV, if I'm not mistaken. That was their original ticker, and then they transitioned with their merger, company now to LCID. But if you look at this on the year chart, this thing, right, when it was during the merger, it peaked at nearly $65. It crashed down to $18. Think about that emotional distress. From 65 down to 20, and then now it's been making a steady recovery, but guess what? It's still down 20% from its overall peak of when the actual IPO actually ended up happening and where it's currently at right now. I want to give you a very, very bad example. Trust me, I'm not comparing your stock Rivian to Nikola. I just want to show you. What did Nikola do when it IPO'd? Again, Nikola was a merger. It was an EV company, just like Lucid, right? It peaked at $93. That's when its market cap was at $30 billion. It surpassed the market cap valuation of Ford. And what happened ever since then? Making lower highs and lower lows, continuously bleeding and not being able to recover from where it was originally at when all the hype and all the attention was there. So all I'm trying to say is not only give you the statistic that on average IPOs do not normally tend to do very well, big picture based off of its short-term performance within the first week to 2 weeks. It's super relevant right now. I just want you to be aware of that. If some of you guys are watching this video and you're like, well, obviously Ricky, it's overhyped up. Believe it or not, there are beginner traders who do not understand this. They think that this stock is only going to continue to uptrend and rally, when in reality, most IPOs end up correcting themselves once they tend to become a little bit less hyped up, when they're less relevant. And trust me, I wanted to show you my favorite picture of Rivian stock, right? Or the Rivian truck. Look at this. This thing has a freaking stove. Like, why wouldn't I support this truck, right? Again, just a little joke for you. But nonetheless, I thought it would be important that, I encourage you guys and root you guys on. I hope that Rivian stock continues to rally. I just thought it would be of use for some of you that are thinking of holding and or buying more at this level. I think it's important to understand your intention. And if your intention is to invest long term, more often than not, there's an overreaction. It's overhyped up right now. Allow it to correct itself for it to meet its true value. And then once it establishes that support level, you can make a more informed decision if it's an investment that you actually want to make at that specific price and not at this, in a sense, manipulated price when it's super relevant and super trendy. I'm seeing Rivian stock literally everywhere on every social platform. They're doing a great job marketing. Can it continue to go up? Of course. It can hit highs of 130, it can hit highs of 140, it can hit highs of 150. All I know is that when a stock like this then begins to crash, just like we saw with Coinbase and just like we saw with, Nikola, when it begins to crash, it drops, right? And there's no question about that. So, ride the rally when it makes sense, understand your plan, understand your intention. As long as the direction is in your favor, all power to you. But when this thing begins to pull on back, I just hope you end up not regretting holding and or not having a plan when obviously it makes sense that it's overhyped up based off of current valuation and current, just direction. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. I hope that I earned your thumbs up in this video. Please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions whatsoever, I hope that you know that you can simply ask those down in the comment section and I will do to the best of my ability in answering them. I really do appreciate you guys' time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.